At the ITS America 2021 annual meeting, the intelligent transport community gathers in Charlotte, North Carolina to network, connect, and exchange the latest ideas on emerging technologies, products, and transport solutions. The annual meeting program explores a wide range of topics such as connected and automated technologies, equity and accessibility, big data, security, logistics, and of course, the latest impact of the COVID pandemic on transportation. Attendees have access to thought-provoking sessions, live demonstrations, technical tours, and networking with colleagues and peers. And ITS TV is right here, bringing you all the latest from this year's meeting. Welcome to the Charlotte Convention Center for episode 1 of ITS TV 2021, and it's great to be back with you. As attendees are gathering for the first day of the meeting, we're here to find out more of the issues and hot topics. We catch up with the ITS President and CEO Laura Chase and COO Kristen White to get their take on the passing of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. We also speak to Roger Miller, the incoming chairman of the ITS America Board of Directors and Secretary of the Washington State Department of Transport, and Joanna Pinkerton, CEO of the Central Ohio Transit Authority, to hear more about what's being done to improve equity and accessibility in the intelligent transport community. We take a look at global trends in intelligent transportation in Japan and the US.
We have a lot of really bright, creative, young people working here with great ideas.
And finally, the best bit, we hear from you, the attendees, why you're excited to join in with this year's meeting. As you can see, we have an exciting program coming up, so stay tuned for the first interview with Laura Chase and Kristen White. We're here to talk about the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which was signed into law this November. First of all, thank you ever so much indeed for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to be back in person, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Very nice to see people in person.
Now, so we're talking about the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act first of all. So, as long as I can remember, we've been talking about infrastructure weeks, this and that. So how important is it to actually get this act into law?
When you think about transportation, it's all about connecting people to opportunity. And we saw that very clearly during the pandemic in countries around the world where transportation is central to your economic opportunity, to your access to healthcare, to education, to critical goods and services, and just to your overall social well-being. And so when you start to think of it in those terms, you really realize what a central connector it is for people and communities across the country. And given that in the United States, our infrastructure is in need of updating, and we are at a point where we need to be making these investments, especially in technology, to build that digital layer over our physical infrastructure, as well as update some of our physical infrastructure. I think that it's really important that we look at the ability to deploy technology to connect more people, to provide safer transportation, and to provide, in this moment where we are seeing the severe impacts of climate change, to actually produce sustainable, cleaner, and more resilient infrastructure and transportation options.
So if we look at the act itself, and it covers a broad gamut, doesn't it, from building, repairing bridges to EV charging stations. So what's your view on the act itself? Will it get the job done?
Oh, absolutely. It's a historic investment. It's one of the largest investments we've seen in the Americas in the last 100 years. And there are opportunities in a wide variety of areas, including to advance safety technologies, sustainable technologies, and technologies that bring more access, as Laura noted, to more communities. And so that includes things like more cybersecurity measures to make sure that risk is mitigated in these new technologies and infrastructure changes. It's making sure we have research to promote vulnerable road user technologies, because as we've seen in America over the last year, the impacts to our most vulnerable Americans, including people who bike and walk and take different modes of transportation, are really impacted by some of the unsafe behaviors that we're seeing on our road systems. And we're also really excited to promote the ability to bring more connected vehicle and automated vehicle innovations, not just to urban centers, which really are innovators, but to more rural parts of America that still have yet to see some of these opportunities truly harnessed. So there's over $550 billion of new investment, which is a big number, and we should really celebrate this historic investment because ITS and ITS America is going to be the heart and the lead organization to make sure that these technologies are being integrated into a safe systems approach for years and decades to come.
Let's pick up on that point that you just made, if we could, about ITS's role and the importance of implementation. So what is ITS America's role in the implementation of the Act?
Well, we believe that ITS America and our partners, our member organizations and coalitions, are central to the implementation of technology advancement in transportation to make lives more safe, more sustainable, and more equitable. So implementation will look like a few things. Making sure members in different local communities and private industries are aware of what's in the bill. It's a 1,200-page bill, and that's a lot to unpack. So we have already been helping our members by understand what are the key components of this new law and how it will impact them. And that will include a wide variety of informational resources from webinars and in-person events, as we hope in 2022, but really importantly, diving into the details through guidebooks, resource workshops, trainings, and other resources to make sure that state and local communities can learn what they can do to implement ITS technologies. And furthermore, for folks that might have already been deploying, what new resources can we provide them to make sure that they're really harnessing all the benefits from the Jobs Act, which the administration is now calling the bipartisan infrastructural law.
Thank you both very much indeed for taking the time to talk to us today. Really appreciate it. It's been great to see you, and I hope the event goes very well. So thank you.
Thank you.
The decrease in the number of human drivers for public transportation is a serious problem in Japan's rural areas where numbers are declining. To address this issue, Saitama Institute of Technology is developing self-driving technologies for both land and water to revolutionize transportation and improve quality of life for people living in remote areas. Let's go take a look.
埼玉工業大学ではジョイスティックカーというのを作りました。ジョイスティックカーというのは高度な障害者の方がジョイスティックを使って運転できるようなシステムでございます。
This is a joystick drive car system. Left and right action enables the steering wheel to rotate, and the back and forth direction operation enables the gas pedal and brake pedal.
ずっと運転するのが夢だったので、自由なタイミングで一人で出かけることができるので、生活は大きく変わりました。
そのジョイスティックベースの車を自動運転にする仕組みを開発し、そのシステムをいわゆる路線バスの渋沢栄一論語の里循環バスに実装することができました。最近は世界初となる水陸両用バスの自動運転化の開発に取り組んでいます。湖というのは残念ながらものすごく流木があることがございまして、流木っていうのはソナーで見ようと思っても水の表面なもんですからなかなかうまく見えない。そういうところで、見えないものをどう見えるようにしていくのかとか、全てがチャレンジなんですけれども、夢のある乗り物がこれで実現できればいいなというふうに思っています。
Morgan State University is Maryland's preeminent urban public research university and a historically black university. The National Transportation Center, NTC, is a 30-year-old research center, and the Urban Mobility and Equity Center, UMEC, is a Tier 1 university transportation center funded by the US Department of Transport. Let's go find out more about their work.
The Safety and Behavioral Analysis Center at Morgan State University is the cornerstone of two research centers housed here. The Urban Mobility and Equity Center is a Tier 1 university transportation center, and the National Transportation Center has been conducting research at Morgan for various government agencies for more than 3 decades.
The SABA Center is home to 2 driving simulators and a bicycle simulator that can be linked to the driving simulators to study the interactions between drivers and cyclists. We also have an eye tracking system to monitor where drivers are looking as they're driving, and a supercomputer to crunch all of the data we generate. We research connected and autonomous vehicles, driver and cyclist behavior, and traffic safety.
In addition to the work in the laboratory, we create and patent algorithms such as vehicle routings, and we study emerging transportation trends such as mobility as a service.
Faculty and students at NC State's Institute for Transportation Research and Education conduct surface and air transportation research, training and technical support activities. ITRE works across various modes of transportation to provide capacity and expertise for municipal, state, federal and international clients to address critical transportation issues. Keep watching to find out more.
ITRE is a great place to be. We partner with academia and consulting to deliver high-impact applied research and cutting-edge technical service. And then we package that innovation and expertise in award-winning training programs. And we impact the transportation workforce from work zone flaggers to airport executives.
The research opportunities are definitely at the forefront of new technology, and we're really pushing the boundaries.
We have a lot of really bright, creative, young people working here with great ideas.
It's exciting for me to do research that contributes to safety and traffic in North Carolina.
What we're trying to do here at ITRE is take those technology tools and bring them to bear in solving the problems. It takes us to a future that's just and equitable and safe for all people.
Next up, I'm joined by Roger Miller and Joanna Pinkerton, who want to talk to us more about equity and accessibility in transportation and what can be done to improve access.
Transportation in general has been really a great equalizer. If people have the ability to move, they have the chance for healthier lives and healthier economies. So we have to prioritize making sure we're serving all people.
The world is for everybody, and transportation is a means to an end for all of us. It's a means to economic opportunity. It's a means to quality of life. It's a means to access to recreation, and that shouldn't be limited to a small segment of the population.
At the Central Ohio Transit Authority, we're headquartered in Columbus, Ohio, and we serve a really broad region of urban, suburban, and rural areas. Part of what we're doing is looking at what's available in every neighborhood. We know that needs are different. So we look at driver's license, access to car, sidewalks, lighting, where are job centers? Are people focused on health outcomes? Maybe they need an aging in place solution. So we're using different data sets to prioritize and develop new services. So typical transportation modeling would have been done, it still is done with transportation demand modeling based on vehicle traffic and vehicle patterns, but we're working with employers. We're doing customer surveys, community surveys, working with nonprofit organizations, more than 100 across our region, to understand what people's needs are, especially during the pandemic, and how people's mobility patterns have changed.
I understand my community. I don't necessarily understand yours. What we really need to be doing is working with the communities that we serve to understand what their problems are and what the best solutions to those problems might be. In these COVID times, we're doing an awful lot of stuff virtually. We're on the internet a lot. We're on the internet in a lot of different languages. We have people that are signing for us. We do the closed captions and the rest of that. We also identify communities that maybe don't have access, and we make a point of getting to them.
During the height of the pandemic, two of the things that really helped us the most to serve customers was the use of data and analytics to prioritize data decisions, making sure they were data-driven. You know, we were asking questions. Did you lose your job? Have you lost income? Have you changed jobs? Has your job location changed? Maybe you're working from home, partially remote. So we needed to know how to prioritize service for essential frontline employees and those who did not have other options.
Prior to COVID-19, those of us in the transportation space spent a lot of time talking about the first mile, the last mile, how to get to and from transit, how to get to and from what have you. What COVID told us is what's really important to our economy and our health and our quality of life. It's not a mile, it's 6 feet. So we have to retool everything we do with that in mind. A lot of people aren't commuting to work anymore. How do we serve them? The people that need to commute to work, how do we serve them in a way that's safe? And how do we do that in a way that's a responsible use of the taxpayers' dollars?
My big hope is that all of this momentum that we have right now around equitable access, whether it's launching new service, whether it's making better decisions with data, is that it will stick. Committing to going completely diesel-free by 2023 and carbon neutral by 2050, I think about that, and I think that's this flywheel where the momentum will be so great that it'll just be the status quo someday.
Demographics are just a fact. In migration, out migration, and deaths, birth, the economy, the population changes. The economy changes, the environment changes. What we're hoping to do is respond to that change, maybe foresee that change, and be out in front working with the people we serve to create the future that they want.
We're ITS TV, your daily news show featuring interviews and discussions on hot topics in intelligent transportation from this year's ITS America annual meeting. You can catch us around the Charlotte Convention Center, in your hotel room, and of course online. And you can join the conversation on social media. So with new content every day, you're not going to want to miss a beat. We always want to save the best till last, so right now we want to speak to you, the delegates, and find out why you're attending this year's meeting and what parts of the program you're particularly excited about.
I'm John Adcox. I'm with Michelin North America, and we're here today as an exhibitor of our non-pneumatic tire solution, which we hope that will allow us to replace pneumatic tires. So one of the best things about ITS is really the amount of people that come to the conference, the diversity of people that are coming to the conference. You've got government officials, you've got different private companies coming to join, and so it really creates a great environment to interact with those and to build that network.
I'm here to represent the Morrisville Smart Shuttle. It's an on-demand app-based shuttle service in the town of Morrisville, North Carolina. So I'm excited to share our program with everybody and hopefully learn a couple things to bring back to my team as well.
I'm very excited to be here at ITS America and to be joining the stage with partners on the ATCM TD project that we're doing in partnership with the University of Michigan Transportation Research Institute. These are a bunch of companies that are dedicated to bringing about the future of connected and autonomous vehicles, and it's very exciting for us that we're partnered with such leaders in the industry, that other leaders in the industry are attending this event.
I'm truly excited about transportation technology. There are a lot of disruptive technology, particularly related to connected automated vehicle. This is a great platform to communicate with your peers and to learn from each other, to generate new ideas.
That's it from our first day here at the ITS America 2021 annual meeting, and things are really beginning to kick off here in the Charlotte Convention Center. Now, tomorrow we'll be catching up with Laura Chase and Rami Masumi to discuss Mobility XX, ITS America's push for more women in leadership, and we'll find out more about the latest trends in transportation. Before then, remember you can watch the show here at the Convention Center in your hotel room and online. And don't forget to subscribe to ITS TV on social media. We'll see you tomorrow.